Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay. Let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say tonight? I hope you all are doing well. It's been really beautiful here. Nice and warm, pretty cool in the morning, not too cold, but enough that you wake up and it doesn't feel super oppressive. Okay, let's see what we have for our card. We'll start out there. No. Go. You're not coming up here. Come on. Okay, go down there. Thank you. All right, so we have the Chariot, and this is from the Thoth deck. This card has a lot to do with motion, forward motion, change, sometimes like a desire for adventure. And the one that I am really particular to is deepening the knowledge of self. Okay, so definitely a card that is all about that difficult work, but also paired with an adventurous and brave nature, going into those places that sometimes you just really don't want to touch. But when you're in this mode, when you have this kind of cycling through your energies, I would say it's a good time to do some of that self-excavating. All right. Let's see what we have here. So, the first thing I really noticed was this figure here with hands up, okay? Kind of like just done with it, okay? Throwing your hands up against the sky. Just, I give up. I'm done with this. I gotta just kind of, accept what things are. And I think that, looking over the reading for last week, I remember that there was a lot of kind of, maybe kind of a disquieted mind, being kind of restless, unsettled feeling in your living situation, life situation. And so now I wonder, are we in a place where you've made some decisions, you've maybe, begun some movement on that, and the change that is occurring is getting a little scary. It's all becoming pretty real for you. And I'm going to apologize for the cat. She's climbing on my chair behind me. And so I think that it really is important for you in these moments where maybe you are getting kind of scared, frightened about the big decision or maybe some minor decisions that you've made, but they're changing kind of the composition of your life. I'm wondering, do you need to kind of take responsibility and be honest with yourself? Remind yourself, I wanted these changes. I thought that this was going to be what I wanted. Right? So I've begun to implement them, and maybe some of the things aren't going as you planned, or maybe they are, but you are realizing that it's going to be maybe a more emotionally difficult. It could be financially more difficult. And let's see, TT, you gotta go off of me. You can't climb on me while I'm doing. And so, you know, it's really kind of, I believe, really, you know, this feeling of wanting to give up. But we have that Chariot card. So I think that it's about pressing forward, sticking out, you know, sticking it out, kind of getting through some of these beginning feelings of, you know, just maybe changing your mind, wanting to change course. You know, of course, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I do think that, you know, with any life change that we make, again, large or small, you know, I think it's normal to kind of be like, oh, did I make the right decision? Is this, you know, is this the right thing for me? So you know, it's my, it is my 2 cents here, my little advice, just to stay the course as much as you can, and see how this kind of plays out, okay? I want to point out we have a 7, and actually kind of looks more like it like this on the side. We have a 7, okay? And I'm sure there are other ones, but at least 2 7s. So maybe 77 or 2 separate 7s. It seems like we've had a lot of 7s. I can't remember exactly which reading. It was from a few days ago. The whole bowl was full of 7s. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, these are how 7777 kind of all relate to me. So it seems like a very potent time for the 7s. Okay. Now, I want to look at this one. Okay. And it looks like a TV with the bunny ears. If you are, I guess what, maybe 35 and older, you've probably experienced a TV with the antennas on the top at some point. So I really think that this kind of reads to me as 2 things. One, really this feeling of trying to get tuned in, okay, trying to really kind of get the channel clear and getting you know, a clear picture of how you're feeling. It's interesting, when I was young, when I was in college, I took a class about film theory, and they talked about how in movies, when a character would be in a room with a television playing, that the TV often not mimicked, but it was kind of like a screen that would show their kind of unconscious or their feelings that they were hiding. So maybe you'd have somebody having a conversation and there was on TV, you know, somebody screaming. So in this person, the character was screaming on the inside. So I feel like in this case, I'm looking at this and it makes me think that you are, and I'm sorry about this cat, she's just really wants to get pet. It is very much about these kind of internal things going on. And you are trying to, I think, get a hold on a good understanding of how you're feeling. Because I think that there's been kind of a switch between that confidence you were kind of having before and whatever is going on now. I don't think that it's like that you're not confident, but I think that it's harder than you thought. Okay, so I also think that this is kind of a gateway towards towards the greater work that you have set out to do in your life, with yourself. Okay, the self-work. I think it's important for you to really try to communicate to yourself plainly, communicate to others plainly, the things that you are feeling, what you want, what you need, what you mean. The saying, say what you mean and mean what you say, really comes to mind. I think that sometimes, you know, you could maybe be a little bit of a person that will finesse other people, maybe kind of, you know, turn on the charm, kind of say what you think people want to hear. Not because I think that you are trying to work somebody over, but it's just in your nature to be kind of a people pleaser. Okay, so I do think that it's important for you to be honest. First of all, be honest with yourself about what it is that you really want. And we talked about this last time. Really digging through kind of all of the illusionary stuff, all the things that you think that you should want, the things that you think that, you know, that you've been conditioned to believe that you want, or that you kind of feign wanting because it's like what other people want, or what you would think other people would want you to want, right? Which is complicated, but a lot of us live that way. I mean, that's super normal to be part of the tribe. But when we take our time to really kind of peel away those layers and be honest with ourselves, what is it that we really desire? What is our will? That's, you know, it can be tricky, but then you get into these periods of time when you're doing this deep work and advocating for yourself, trying to realign your life in such a way that you are, you know, like people like to say, living your truth, whatever that means. But, you know, trying to honor your will, trying to honor your desire, trying to honor your authentic self, okay? And so I think it's important to really just try to be brave and try to advocate for the things that you actually want and need. You would be surprised how many people will be receptive, people in your life, to hear your truth, there it is, but to hear you speak plainly about what it is you want to do, what it is you intend to do, setting boundaries, this kind of thing. I, for one, do not appreciate having to navigate through what somebody is saying to me. I just want you to tell me what it is. You know what I mean? Just say what it is. And if I can do that, we'll figure it out, right? I don't want to have to try to guess what you actually mean, or what you actually need, or what you actually want. That's too much. It's too much. So I think that you're really getting to a point where you are understanding that you're going to get further with your happiness, your contentment, your success. Just, you know, living this honesty, right? Okay, so let's see here. I see right here a big arrow, and then I see over on this side another arrow, and this one seems to be kind of more crooked, but I feel like it's kind of like these two paths that you have, right? Where you can really just do that brave thing, this big, bold arrow, go the middle way, right? Really just kind of let go of all the pretense of things that we all do, right? We all, it's just, you know, life is so nuanced, obviously. And the way that we engage with people is so nuanced. And we are just really brought up to believe in a lot of weird ways. And I'm sorry, I'm laughing just thinking of it. It's just that it's shameful to want the things that we want. And a lot of times it's not even like, it's not taboo stuff. It's not, you know, it's not anything that, you know, I mean, it's just normal, easy, you know, I want to work a limited amount of hours. I want to make as much money as I can. I want to have a quiet life, or I want to have a big life. I want to travel, you know, whatever. I mean, it's just, these are the things that we think about and we maybe really want, but it's like, for some reason, there's so much shame involved in admitting that, you know, you don't want the same things that most people say that they want, right? But I think when it comes down to it, when we really are honest about it, you know, I think for me, going into parenthood has been a really big BS detector for me, for myself. Because there's so much that goes into it. You have to let go of so many little silly things and frivolous things and time and sleep and, you know, just having the ability to just go whenever you want, to do whatever you want. You don't have to pack up things to go to the car. You just, you know, take your wallet and leave. But that's not what it is. So you really have to get to a point where you are honest about what is important and what, you know, and you meet other people who are in the same situation. And a lot of people are just worn down and just are, you know, very plain about their basic needs, their basic desires, right? But when you start to come out of those, especially first years of child rearing, that veneer starts to come back on, because we're a little less like sleep deprived and, you know, we know how to be, you know, polite human beings again a little bit. So you start to hear kind of more of the, you know, what we're supposed to say, what we're supposed to want. These kind of communications become a little more complicated again. But, you know, I think that it's not abnormal in life to go through periods where, and it doesn't have to be related to kids, but where you just can't do it anymore, you know, for whatever reason. You just are who you are, you want what you want, and you're gonna make that happen. Or you're not, and you're just gonna kind of, you know, toil and lament, which hopefully, you know, and that's kind of what we're talking about here, about this Chariot. You know, as you become that kind of strong advocate for yourself, it's easy to start backpedaling when things start to really happen. And if you kind of let yourself slip backslide into it, something has often become dislodged in us, okay? Where that will not suffice anymore. Our life has changed just for that little moment, just long enough that we know we can't go back. We can't go back to how it was. And if we do, we're going to spend, you know, gosh, no, you could spend the rest of your life thinking about, what if I did this? I should have done that. You know, why did I not just stick to my plan, right? So, you know, I think that it will be helpful for you to keep moving forward. Now, you know, if you slow it down and you do kind of succumb to some of the backsliding, I'm not saying that things can't get better. It's just kind of this more crooked, smashed arrow, right? You're going to go the longer route, possibly. Maybe get lost in that maze, in that labyrinth, right? And, you know, I don't know about you. I don't have time for that. I just don't. So, I think, again, and I'll say it again, this really comes to mind, and it really is, say what you mean what you say, but to yourself as well. I mean, it's so important. You know, when you make that decision, stick to it. Honor yourself. Honor that impulse that was moving you. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Okay, so I'm just looking at this. Okay, so we have an eye right here. Okay, and let me get that closer. So we have an eye. We also have a heart with kind of these wings. So I feel that, you know, there is the feeling of the watcher, of being watched over, of being witnessed. Okay, and I feel like there is that lighter feeling of your heart being kind of set free in some ways. It's hard. It's hard to kind of, you know, break the chains of whatever we have devoted ourselves to. It can be, you know, your job or a place you live or whatever it is, you know, that you have really like tried to stick in there with it and it just is not working out for you. But I really think that the universe, the divine, however and whatever you like to call it, is looking out for you. Okay. And there is a feeling, even in the fear, the terror, and maybe that is tied to some outside treachery happening around you because of the shift in what you are doing. You know, maybe people are not happy, or, you know, you've kind of feel like you've let people down, or whatever it is. They'll get over it, right? This is your life. You have to decide how you're going to live. We can't always live for other people, you know, and even if it's our children, of course, we're responsible for them. And, you know, we have to figure out a life where they are involved, hopefully, right? But you do have to, you should anyways, hopefully, ideally, create an environment for yourself, for your family, where you are able to thrive spiritually, emotionally, you know, psychically, and all of that. I also see a little person here. It looks like they're kind of in a seated position. They're sitting here next to a fire. And it looks like kind of that sacred smoke, visions. I think that you are getting some kind of divine messaging coming through. I also see these candles here, this one and this one. A lot of illumination happening. Okay, I think that there are messages coming through for you, and that is happening through meditation, vision work, dreams, synchronicities, something like this. Okay. Now over here, we have the serpent. Okay, this little serpent here, and we have what looks like a shovel next to it. Now I feel that this cat is driving me crazy here. Come on, Come sit on my lap. Thank you. So I feel that there is, you know, a real feeling of knowledge being gained. And I feel that with the shovel or the spade, kind of, with it, I really, like I had said, you know, kind of this, doing the self-archaeology, kind of digging through, but even more than that, clearing out the old, okay? So making room for this important knowledge, downloads, shift in consciousness, you know, your interests, your passions, having more space to be filled. And I really think, you know, it's not an easy time, but I think that it is a wonderful time, right? It's that dark part of the night, right? Before the sun's coming up again. And, you know, there's a lot of unknowns. And, you know, that's never easy. Looking into the mystery of things is scary. But I think that you are doing well. You're Leo, you're the lion, and you have this. you definitely do. So I think that's our reading for tonight. And I want to thank you so much for the time that you spend with me. I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps me get into the algorithm. And I say me, I mean we. We as a channel, we as a community here are growing together, one person at a time, and we're doing so well. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell and it will let you know when the next videos are coming out. So every week I read at least, or I read every sign once a week. If you are interested in watching your other placements between now and 7 days from now when the next Leo comes out, you should go ahead and do that. You can also do some cross-watching for your loved one, significant other, whoever, you know, you'd like to see what's going on in their life too. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read all of them. And I really appreciate them so much. They really keep me going. And, you know, on the days where I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing this very well, I see the comments and I'm like, okay, I can do it. I thank you so much, Leo, and we will talk again really soon.